How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to our first ever 2022 holiday gift guide. So I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I don't think all these items on this list are completely necessary. Myself included have put many of them off over time just because I thought I didn't really need them. They would be nice to have, but I don't really need them. And that's also one of the reasons why I think these items make such great gifts, because a lot of people may be putting them off as well since they don't necessarily need them or they have something else in its place that they already use. But having these items and receiving them as a gift and taking them out there camping, they're going to find so much joy in them, and I think that's what really makes them so special. So first up on the list, and in no particular order, is the Snow Peak Titanium Fork and Spoon Set. This is such a nice fork and spoon set. It comes with a really nice case as well. It velcros together. It's just super compact, which is really nice, and you don't just have forks and spoons, flying around your camp bin. They're always tucked away nicely together in here. The fork and spoon itself are of course really nice. I mean, they're really nice pieces. The way they're made is super nice as well. Even though they're titanium, they don't feel like they're gonna bend or anything like that, because titanium is really lightweight, but it's also really durable. It's a really nice weight to it. It feels like a nice substantial piece of eating equipment, I guess. Even though it's just a utensil, a lot of people in their camping bins, they just buy the, GSI plastic fork and spoon and stuff like that, or whatever brand it is on Amazon. And, over time those break, they get bad, and they're just not that nice. And people think like, oh, it's just camping gear, it doesn't have to be that nice. But if you're a regular camper and you go frequently, investing in quality eating utensils, it's a no-brainer, honestly, because you're going to be using, this is one of the most used items. So investing in a quality set is something that maybe gets overlooked, but honestly, it's worth doing because you're going to have these things with you forever. All right, so next up on the list is the Snow Peak cutting board. This is the medium size. It also comes in a large size, and this is such a nice cutting board to have. Even the medium size for me personally, I find there's plenty of room for chopping up vegetables, an onion, whatever you're cutting up. It's a pretty decent size cutting board for out there while camping. They do have a larger size as well. One of my favorite things about this cutting board is just that it folds away, it tucks away, and has a really nice knife, a really sharp knife. So the knife with the medium one isn't as big as the knife in the large cutting board set. You can also buy knives separately through them as well. I find this knife to be the really good, honestly, multi-purpose knife. It's the only knife I use while I'm camping. And obviously it's just for food prep. I don't use it for anything else, but it's a really good knife. I've never had to sharpen it yet, and it still cuts very well. I'm actually really impressed that they make such a good knife, because they don't really sell a lot of knives, but this knife is super sharp, seems to be really well made. It honestly feels just like a really high-end kitchen knife that you would purchase. So there's a really nice cutout for the knife here, and it's magnetic, so it sticks right in there perfectly, avoiding any accidents while out there camping, which is the last thing you need while you're out there camping. And the whole thing just folds together nicely. There's also some feet on here as well. It honestly doesn't really sit level most of the time. It probably warps slightly, especially if you're out there in different seasons and just it's cold and hot, and that's just the nature of wood in general. A couple things to note with this cutting board though is it doesn't come at all oiled or anything like that, but you're gonna wanna invest in some board cream for this as well. And every so often just recoat it, to prevent it from warping any further. But yeah, it has a locking mechanism up front, and the whole thing just stays together. It's a really nice cutting board. So it's one of those things that, yeah, you could bring the plastic cutting board with you, but, having something like this with a knife built in, it's really leveled up our camping experiences out there. And I think going with either the medium or the large is a safe bet, honestly. I would be happy with either one, but I'm totally happy with the smaller one as well. So this next item is actually a more recent purchase for us, the Field Barista Kettle. And I put it off for a really long time, mainly because I thought it wasn't gonna pour as nicely as it would for coffee as it actually does. There's a stopper inside of here that controls the flow rate on here, and you can actually dial in some pretty precise pours on here, which is perfect for doing pour over coffee. This is great for tea as well, because you can choose if you want to dump more water quicker or go slower. The handle folds away nicely. It's such a nice kettle. I was bringing that fellow with me, which looks super cool, and I thought it would look really great in images, and it does. It has a really nice temperature gauge on it. But honestly, with the handle sticking out and the gooseneck on it, I was always worried about how am I going to pack it, you know, what kind of bagels to put in between the handle and the front of it so, you know, it doesn't snap off. And with this kettle right here, you never have to worry about things like that. And it's a really solid feeling kettle. And I was like, man, this is a really expensive kettle when I bought it. And it is. It's not a cheap kettle at all, and it really doesn't feel like that either. It's a really nice, heavyweight stainless steel. It doesn't feel thin. This is a legitimate kettle. It's just one of those pieces that, you know, it was really worth it, and I put it off for a long time, and after owning it and using it, it was definitely worth it. Alright, so next on the list is the Snow Peak Mini Hazuki Lantern. It's a really nice lantern. It's so small. The light output it puts out, though, is really nice. And one of my favorite ways of using this lantern is just on a surface of like a table. When you set this light down, it just casts this really nice warm glow on the surface that it's on. And it's just really enjoyable to look at and just eat a meal next to or drink your coffee next to. It just it's almost like a candle effect, but not a candle. It really is amazing the ambience that this little lantern right here can create, and using them in the tent as well is really nice. It does create a nice warm light in there, and it does put out a decent amount of light. I use it in a larger tent, the Snow Peak Alpha Breeze. I have two of them on each side, and I have one light in the center. It's magnetic on the top here, so you can stick it to things as well. Yeah, it's just a really simple design light. And I think its simplicity is what makes it such a really nice piece to have. Alright, so next we have these binoculars by the brand Knox. So Ashlyn actually got me these for my birthday, and I do take them with me all the time whenever we go out, whether it's kayaking, camping, just on a hike. They're super lightweight, super durable. I don't mind giving them to my 3-year-old to use as well because of that nice rotomold design on here. It's super durable, honestly. Even if they fell, like, they would just literally bounce off the ground, which is really nice. They don't feel like they're gonna break. They're waterproof. They're not super expensive binoculars, but they're that really nice pair that you don't mind bringing with you everywhere. Personally, I don't own a really nice pair of binoculars. This is my only binoculars that I have, but I will say that I do take them with me everywhere, and I do use them quite a bit. So they're a really nice set to have. And I really think the design and the quality of them is really good as well, especially at the price tag. So the strap that it comes with is pretty thin. It's almost like this webbing right here, maybe a little bit thicker. So I upgraded to this strap right here, and I have no complaints. It's a really nice strap. It's really comfortable to wear for long periods on hikes or just like longer walks. And yeah, they're just a really nice set of binoculars. Alright, so next up we have the Snow Peak Aurora Titanium Water Bottle. And this is seriously a nice water bottle. I mean, it's so lightweight, but the design of it it's so beautiful as well. If it's for that person who really cares about design, don't get it for somebody who just, you know, needs a new water bottle, obviously. There's plenty of other water bottles out there like that, but I don't think I've ever seen a water bottle that looks this nice, this subtle, and this minimal in design. One of the complaints on here is the lid makes a squeaking sound. It does kind of squeak actually quite a bit. Oh yeah, it's squeaky. I don't mind that. That's honestly the silicone wrapping around it to keep the water from leaking out, which it doesn't leak, so that's a good sign right there. It does have a squeak though. Putting it on. Up close it sounds kind of bad. I've honestly haven't really noticed it, just using it personally, until I started reading the comments. I'm like, oh, why does this only get 4 stars? And then, yeah, some people don't like the squeaking sound on there. But if you can get past that squeaking sound, now I'm going to notice it every single time I open this bottle. I opted for the nice space gray, super simple, super clean design option. And I'm really happy I got this thing. I bring it with me camping, and I use it daily as well. It's a really nice water bottle. Alright, so next up on the list is the Roller Roaster Marshmallow Sticks, and these are some seriously nice marshmallow sticks. A lot of people don't invest in good quality marshmallow sticks, but these ones happen to be really nice. You're able to turn this dial on here and kind of really fine-tune your roasting level on marshmallows. I still haven't got it down. I'm always burning my marshmallows, but eventually I'll get it. And this is the tool that will help you master the art of your marshmallow roasting. It's fully telescoping. really compact. It's just a really nice set of roasting sticks, and I think anybody would be happy to either upgrade theirs or just own a set. So smart wool base layers, they're honestly some of the best base layers out there. I have the 250 weight ones, and I use those both in the summer and in the winter. In the winter time, sometimes I'll layer the 250 with something else if it's really cold out. They've held up really well. You just want to wash them and then hang dry them. Don't throw your base layers in the dryer. And yeah, they'll last quite some time, and they're one of those things that people cheap out on and get, you know, synthetic, polyester, cheaper base layers, and they're not going to be as nice as these. These smart wool ones are really worth the price. They're some of the best base layers out there, and they're one of those things that until you get them, you don't really see the benefit of, you know, what they really are. But after using them out there, like, I have to say, these are really nice to have, and I can't imagine going camping or in cold weather without them. So the smart wool base layers also come in kid sizes as well. So Emmett wears an extra small in them, and he's been wearing that size for quite some time since they're really snug, but they're just long enough where he has still room to grow into them. So they'll last him a little bit longer as well. So yeah, don't forget about the kids as well. Owning a nice set of base layers is really important out there. And smart wool happens to make some of the best ones. Alright, so next on the list is the Snow Peak Home and Camp Lantern. When it came out, I wasn't really sure about the design of it. I was like, you know, it looks kind of simple. It's not bad. I thought it was kind of expensive for what it was. This kind of looked like a cheap little Tupperware type of plastic. But as soon as I took it out on our first trip and I turned it on and I saw the ambience that it created, and the more places I took it and the different locations where I used it, I was like, wow, this is an impressive light. So the light this thing puts out is so nice, and it's not blinding at all. It's not like one of those super bright lights that you have to look away from. It puts out this really nice warm glow, but at the same time it casts a really nice light around the whole area so you can see as well. It can go really bright, which is great at nighttime. And you can also dim it down just to create that nice little ambience. It's one of my favorite lights for sure, and one of the best lanterns that I've come across. It also comes with a nice charging base as well. But yeah, if you're looking for a new lantern out there, I'd honestly give this one a close look. Alright, so I don't know what took me so long to get this item, but this was also a really recent purchase. The Snow Peak Auto Giga Lantern. This thing is incredibly nice. I mean, it creates such a nice ambience out there, especially at nighttime. You can really dial this thing up and make it super bright, or you can dim it down to just have a really nice glowing effect. I personally haven't ever had anything like this. I've only had battery operated lanterns, which work great, but the ambience that this thing creates is so nice. Alright, so last on the list, but certainly not least, is the Snow Peak Pile Driver. This is something that is so nice to have that I've recently bought another one, just to have more lighting options around the campsite. It's such an incredibly simple piece of equipment. It's really nice because you can place it right over your table, your cooking surface, or just where you're sitting in the morning by your chairs. So the way it works is you'll actually just loosen this top part right here, and then you'll just start hammering into the bottom base like that, and that's how it goes into the ground. And you have a ton of height adjustments on here, so you can really dial it in exactly how you want your lighting position. It's one of those really nice things that Snow Peak makes, and it's a classic item for them. You'll see these in a lot of pictures and a lot of videos. Many people own one of these lantern pile drivers, and for good reason. And it's just a really simple thing to bring. It's just a pole. And another cool thing about this pole is it also can hang other items off of it. So I've hung barbecue tongs off this little clip here. My fireside gloves hang off of here pretty often. Sometimes I'll hang a jacket, even if it's just really wet. I'll just hang it off right off the top of it if I don't want to bring it in the tent. So it has multiple uses as well, and it's just a really nice piece of gear that you'll have with you forever. Alright, well that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the gift guide here. Hope you guys found use in some of these items and got some ideas from it. If you have any questions or want further clarification on any of the items, please comment down below. We've also linked all of the items down below in the description. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.
Looks big, huh? Way over there. Oh, you see it.